Dangal greetings, I'm Joseph Repscana. So in this video, I'm going to discuss about the class diagram of our system. So first class is the interface payable class. So the interface payable class is have only one method, which is the public process payment void method. So the relationship between payable class and abstract order class is realization relationship. So we use realization relationship because we implement the public process payment void method of payable class in the order abstract class. So implement that method in here. So next is the abstract order class. So the attributes of abstract order class is private order int, private base amount double. And then the constructor is public over order ID int, base amount double. And then the methods is public calculate total double method, public get extra charges double method, public get order type string method, and last is the public process payment void method. So the order classes have a three child, which is the child class, which is the delivery order class, pickup order class, and then the dine-in order class. So first is the child class of the first child is the delivery order class. So the attributes of this class is the private distance double, private rate per km or kilometer double attributes. And then there's also a constructor, which is the public delivery order ID int, base amount double, distance double, rate per kilometer double. And then there's also a method, which is the public get extra charges double method. So that inherits that in the parent class, which is the order abstract class. And then the public get order type string method. And then next is the pickup order method class. So there's no attribute in this class. So just only the constructor and then the inherit methods. So first is the constructor, which is the public pickup order int, base amount double constructor. And then the method, which is the public gets extra charges double method, and last is the public get order type string method. So same as the pickup order and the delivery order, it also inherits the get extra charges and get order type methods. But in this class, there's a static attribute, which is the private fee rate double static. And then there's also a constructor, which is the public dine-in order int, base amount double constructor.
Dangal greetings, I'm the host Josephine, and today I will explain our Java program that demonstrates an online food ordering system using OOP principles. So this program shows how different types of customer orders can be handled in one system while still keeping the code organized and easy to understand. So the main class of the program is the main class, and inside it, the program starts from the main method. First, the program creates a list called orders. So this list is used to store different kinds of order objects, which is the list orders is equals to new array list. The important thing here is that the list uses the parent class order, which means it can store different child classes inside one collection. So after that, the program adds three types of customer orders. The first one is a dine-in order. So orders at add new dine-in order parentheses 101 and 500. So this means order 101 has a base amount of 500 pesos. The second one is a pickup order. So orders at add parentheses new pickup order parentheses 102 and 300. So this means order number 102 has a base amount of 300 pesos. The third one is a delivery order. Orders at add new delivery order 103 and 400 and 5.0 and 20. This includes the order ID, the base amount, delivery distance, and delivery rate. So the program uses a try-catch block to handle possible errors. If invalid values are entered, the program catches the error and prints a message instead of crashing because it has the catch at illegal argument exception E. This makes the program safer and more reliable. After creating the orders, the program uses a for loop to go through each order. For order, and orders. For every order in the list, it calls the print receipt method. This method displays the receipt details of each customer order. Inside the print receipt method, the program first prints a receipt header. It shows the order type and order ID. For example, it can display dine-in, pick-up, or delivery. Then the program shows the base amount in the code order at get base amount. After that, it displays the extra charge, which is the order at get extra charge. The extra charge depends on the order type. For example, dine-in may have a service charge, pick-up may have no additional fee, and delivery may have a delivery fee based on distance. Next, the program calls the order at process payment. So this method processes the payment based on the order type. Because each child class can have its own version of this method, the program demonstrates the polymorphism. Polymorphism means one method can behave differently depending on the object using it. So finally, the total amount is calculated by the code order at calculated total. This combines the base amount and extra charge. Then, the final total is shown on the receipt. The output is displayed clearly so the customer can see the full payment summary. So, this main method demonstrates how important OOP concepts such as inheritance, because the order types come from the one parent class, polymorphism, because each order can process payment differently, and encapsulation, because data is accessed through methods, and abstractions, because the general order behavior is defined in the parent class. So for the conclusion, this program shows how Java can be used to build a simple but organized food ordering system that handles multiple order types efficiently. So that's all. Thank you for listening.
So, Dangal greetings. So, my name is Justin Villabarquez and I'm gonna be explaining about the order class. So, first, this class belongs to the model package. Next, we need to have an import, so interface package, and then the variable class. Next is the class declaration. So, we name it as class order. Next is this will be our main blueprint for all of our orders. So it is abstract so that you cannot create an order directly. So and it implements payable so that every order must have a payment. Next is this one. So this is our attribute. So we declare it as private for encapsulation. Then final so that these attributes cannot be changed. So int order ID and then double basement. So um, next is our constructor. So we declared it as private for security. Then this one have auto parameter which is order ID and then base amount. So we will be having error handling. So this program cannot be accept that if the base amount is less than 0. So any negative number will have an error message. So this one will be um, message. So base amount cannot be negative. So if the base amount is 0 or greater than 0, mm, this one will be implemented or execute. So this um, this function means that we use this so that our compiler cannot get confused about these two. So the lighter blue, it points to this one, to our class, and this darker blue points to the parameter. So this one is just the same. Next is our abstracts. Um, um, this forces the child class to define how extra charges are calculated and what type of order it is. So these are the rules that every order type must implement, but each one will define um, differently. So next one is this one. So it's public and final. So final again so that it can be changed. Next is this one calculates the total. So um, this is our common formula for all orders. So base amount will be added to the extra charges. So um, next is this one process payment. So we need to override it. This one prints payment message, and this handles payment processing and works the same for every order type. Next is our getters and setters. Since we use get order private for our attributes for order ID and then base amount, we need to use getters and getters for order ID and base amount um, to, to access it. So that's all for the order class. Dangal greetings. My name is Yasim Villabarquez and I'm gonna be explaining about the dine-in order class. So earlier, I explained about the order class. Um, the order class is the parent of this class. So this one will be our child class or subclass. So let's start. So this class belongs to the model. Then declaration. So we name it as dine-in order. Then it extends to order because this is a subclass of order. Then we use that private, so for security and um, encapsulation. Next is um, it's final so that it cannot be changed. So the service fee rate is fixed to 10%. So 10% we convert it to decimal, so 0.10. Next is the constructor. So it has two parameters, order ID and then base amount, and this have a super. So um, this super can be seen in the order class. So this one is from the parent class or the order class. So we use super for constructor overloading. Next is this one. So this one is it gets the extra charges. So it overrides to the order class. This one it overrides that. So the calculation is that it gets the base amount from the parent, and then it multiplies to the service fee rate. So whatever the base amount is will be multiplied to 0.10. Next is another override. So get order type. So this one just return the dine in string. So um, this is what it's override. So yes, so that this one just returns the string dine in. So that's all for the dine in order class. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Carmark P. Burburan and I'll be explaining to you the payable interface and the delivery order class. So first and foremost, what is the payable interface? The payable interface is similar to an abstract method in that the classes that extend it must contain the methods or the stuff inside of said abstract class. The only difference between them is that a class can only extend a single abstract class, Meanwhile, it can extend multiple interfaces. So, for the interface payable, it just has void process payment as an abstract class of sorts. An example of what I just said is the order class. Because it implements payable, which means it must define what process payment actually does. And in the order class, it prints a payment confirmation message. Because of this, whether it's dine-in, pickup, or delivery, it is guaranteed to have a process payment method since they all extend order. Next is the delivery order. Delivery order class extends the order Java, or the order class, and adds two additional values which are distance and rate per kilometer. The first method of this class is delivery order, which obtains the order ID and base amount from order Java, or order class, and distance and rate per kilometer from main. If their values are less than 0, it prints out distance and rate must be non-negative. And then it just sets the values for distance and rate per kilometer. Now we move on to the overriding methods. The reason for the overriding methods is because the original methods in order Java are empty. These just add something to return into main Java. The first override method is calculate total, which obtains the sum of base amount added with distance multiplied by rate per kilometer. And the second override method is get order type, which just returns delivery. And then we have getters. These just return the values of distance and rate per kilometer to the main class. And next is Justin Brill to explain the classes dine-in order and order. That's all from me.
Dangal greetings. I'm Ronalman Bicanayong and I'm going to explain the public class pickup order, extend order. And first is public class pickup order. With this class declaration, pickup order is a public class and extend order, meaning it has a direct child of abstract order class. Everything order has: the order ID, the base amount, the calculate total method, the process payment behavior. Pickup order automatically inherits all of it. It doesn't rewrite history, it just adds its own identity on top. And for the constructor, public pickup, int order ID, double base amount, and super. And the constructor accept two parameters: this the integer order and the base amount. And the very first thing it does is call super order ID and base amount, which it immediately passes those two values up to the parent class, the order class. This inside order, the constructor runs its own validation. If base amount is negative, it throws an illegal argument exception. Since we pass in 300, a valid positive number, validation passes and order stores order ID as 102 and base amount as 300. Pickup order itself stores nothing. It trusts its parent to handle it. And next is this override public double get extra charge method. This is the defining method of the entire class, and it's only one line of logic. The override annotation tells us the get extra charge method was declared abstract in order, meaning every subclass is required to provide its own version. This pickup order answer 0, no service fee, no delivery cost, no subcharges of any kind. That single return value of 0 is the entire business rule for pickup order encoded into code. The customer walks in, collect their food and pays only what the item costs, nothing more. And next is public string get order type method. And the second overridden method, get order type method, also comes from the order as an abstract requirements. Pickup orders answer it simply the string pickup. The string travels through the system. It gets printed on the receipt header using the process payment message and formatted to uppercase in the output. One small string used in the multiple places. And that's all for the pickup order class. Dangal greetings, I'm Ronerman Bikanayam and I'm going to explain the output for this Java program. And for this output to run is, here is the main class, and this here is the execution begins in the main method. The this this execution begins in the main method. The very first thing that happens is the creation of single array list type as a list of order. This is the heart of the unified workflow. One list that will holds all three order type together, regardless of their difference. At this moment, it is empty. And this try block is inside a try block. Three objects are created and added to the list one by one. The try block exists as the safe net. If any constructor receives an invalid data like negative amount, it throws an illegal argument exception, and the catch block intercepts it and prints an error message. Since all values here are valid, no exception is thrown. And this first line in this try is orders that add new dine-in order 101 and 500. First, a dine-in order is created with ID 101 and base amount 500. Its constructor called super order validates 500 is non-negative, stores the value dine-in order, holds its service fee rate as a static constant of 0.10 object added to the list. And next, for the pickup order is pickup order is created with ID 102 and base amount 300. Same process using super method is called order validates and store. Pickup order holds nothing extra object added to the list. And the third one is a delivery order is created with ID 103, base amount 400, distance 5 kilometers and rate of 20 per kilometer. Its constructor calls again super first, then returns and then runs its own validation, checking the neither distance not rate is negative, both are positive, so both are stored as final field objects added to the list. The list now holds three objects, all type as order, but each one different subclass underneath. And for this for loop, for each other is with the list population execution enters the for each loop. It will iterate exactly 3 times, once for order. Each iteration calls print receipt method, passing the current order object. The parameter type is order, but the actual object could be any of the 3 subclasses. Java resolved which version of the method to call a runtime. This is polymorphism. That's how it collects the data for here to print the output. And for this test case 1 is iteration 1, the dine-in order object enters print receipt. The separator lines prints first, then gets order type. Method is called dine-in order returns dine-in converted to uppercase as dine-in. Get order ID method returns 101. The header reads receipt for the dine-in ID 101. Get base amount method returns 500, stores in order returned by its getter. And get extra charges method is called Java root this to dine-in orders override, which returns base amount times 0.10, that is 500 times 0.10, which is equals to 50. And process payment method is called method lives in order and shared. It prints processing dine-in payment for order number 101 is uses gets order type method and get order ID method to fill in the message dynamically. Finally calculates total. This total is called this method is final in order. It cannot be overridden. Its formula is always base amount plus get extra charges method, that is 500 plus 50, so total of 550. And for the second test case is iterate iteration 2, the pickup order object enters print receipt method gets order type is called pickup order returns pickup, and prints an uppercase, and get amount method returns 300, the base amount, and get extra charges method is called Java route to the pickup orders overridden, which returns 0, no service fee, no delivery cost, extra charges prints as 0, so it is 0. And process payment runs from the order, prints processing payment method for order 102, so this is, and calculate total runs the same formula, 300 plus 0 equals 300, the total is exactly the base amount because there's no extra charges, so it is 300. And for the test case 3 is get base amount returns 400 and get extra charges is called, and which returns distance times rate per kilometer, and that is 5 kilometer, 5 times 20, which equals to 100 printed as extra charges, so the extra charges is 100. And processing payment runs from the order, prints processing delivery payment for order 103, and for the total calculation runs 400 plus 100 equals 500. The delivery fee is baked into the total the customer pays for both the food and the distance, so the total amount is 500. And that's all for the output.